Hey everybody, it is your favorite fatty of fitness right here, Jerry Tawny. And I've noticed my last videos, not the best. Information is good, but we're starting over trying some new things, because that's what this is all about. As you can tell, I've toned up a little bit. Also helps, I got a little spandex shirt on. Alright, no big deal, don't worry, I am still one of you. But unfortunately, I'm going to keep getting in better shape because this is a passion of mine and I want it to be one of yours too. So if it is, I'm going over a few things and just kind of showing my progress and how I got there. You know, I've looked at my last videos and I am in better shape than I was then. So this little theory that I've got working on that's gotten me here seems to be working. And the more in depth that I get into it and more strict with myself that I become, the quicker the results that I'm having. And it's really not that difficult of stuff to do that I'm just incorporating into everyday life. Like at lunchtime at work, I'll go down and exercise in the gym, but I'll do more stretching exercises and abs. Basically, I'm just doing abs, and that ends up stretching my back out, along with a couple exercises that I do before I get started, just to make sure that I'm loosened up. Not everybody has to limber up before they do things, but for people that have problems, especially like us big guys, or just anybody in general that's having problems just physically with doing stuff, like me, I have problems with my back, so I can't just jump into things like I used to because, you know, I was in a car accident, in a couple. In fact, you know, it's pretty tragic, but it's really not that bad compared to other people, because obviously I'm here and I'm getting better. Some people don't get that chance. So, enough with the sob story there, but I'm just saying, like, if you have any problem, then I would recommend kind of loosening up first. And it's real simple exercises that I'll show you. Some of you have even done it in physical therapy. That's where some of this stuff comes from, because I had to do that stuff before I could get to where I'm at. And that stuff didn't really require anything but me moving my body. So that's kind of why I started gearing things more toward the calisthenic approach. But if you have access to gym equipment, that's a plus. But it's not necessary. Because I'm broke a lot, just like everybody else. So I like to find things that I can do that are free, that I can do with other people. Exercise is one of those things. You can invite people over to your house. You can go to other people's houses. You don't have to go anywhere to do it. Much like going to the museum, but they work by charity. So if you go, try to throw something in. Might not be, you know, 20, but hey, a 5 works. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, where I'm going with this is you don't need to do a lot of stuff, but this stuff helps. The reason I bought this stuff is because I can take this with me wherever I go. One-time purchase. You know, this right here, along with the weights that I have with it, was about $1,000 or less. I mean, this is a nice cage. You don't need it to be like this. I wanted it like this. In fact, I want one better. I want more equipment. It's a hobby once you get to this point. It's like upgrading your car. But the setup that I have here, you know, I got it from Dick's Sporting Goods. You can probably find stuff cheaper. I normally did. I had the money to spend, so I just went straight for something new because I knew it could last. You know, nobody else sweat on it. I'm not a clean freak, but certain things you don't want to take the risk. You know, but, you know, we've been there. You know, I just want something new, something that ain't been tinkered with, something that I know that if there's a defect, I can go back to the manufacturer. That's why I went with the brand new route. But I have second-hand stuff here. Like, when it comes to your weights, don't worry about mix-matching them, okay? I mean, that's your basic equipment. But the bench was separate, this was separate, so you could just get something that's just a cage like this and use a metal stool. You know, I mean, they got stuff that fold into your garage. You can find 2 trees maybe and run a big old shackle through it. I mean, hey, I'm a country boy, okay? We'll figure stuff out. I know I got a buddy that's got cement on 2 ends of a pipe for a bench that he has. So he's got that constant weight, but he's got to manipulate it, you know? My uncles used to lift rocks. I mean, if you want a weight train, you don't have to have this fancy equipment, but get ingenuitive with it. The thing about fitness is it is never ending. Okay? I mean, much like when you search the Bible, you will never not find something new in it, okay? So there's a lot of research out there on fitness, but you know what? There's a lot of tools out there because everybody can use a wrench, but somebody figured out maybe it's nice to have a wrench you can open your distributor with. You know, like Take It Loose down there near the bottom. Y'all people know what I'm talking about. If not, there's a tool for something that's really hard to do. You know, like Control, Alt, F, Delete. You know, like it's kind of like shortcuts for anybody. Alright, fitness has that. Everything has that in it. Alright, so, you know, get ingenuitive with stuff because the plan that I'm doing, that I'm creating right now, it's just stuff that I figured out along the way because there wasn't something there for me to follow. So I had to make my own path, and along that path I realized that, you know, there's a lot of people out there that want help that can't get it. If not, I know I did, and so I'm reaching out to people like, hey, you know, if you've been in this situation, it sucks, follow me, I'm kind of going this way. And that's what happens. You know, that's what I'm doing and what I'm reaching out to people for. So I know it's not going to be the best. I know my information ain't going to be the grandest, but it's what I figured out that's been working for me, and I was a biggin', okay? I'm talking 350 and below range, but I was really reaching for that 50, it seemed like, you know, and it happened. It just, you know, and before it happened, I was actually in the best shape of my life ever. So this hasn't just been a uphill struggle one way. I mean, I have had some nosedives, people, you know, I mean, so I really understand what it's like if you're a middle-aged man and you lose everything because you lost your job and you have to go backwards. Like, I can relate to that because I was at the best point in my life as far as fitness, family, love, life, you know, my religion, you know, everything was great, and then I got into an accident. It wasn't my fault, but you know, I was there. I had just recently had one and recovered from it, so I was doing okay, but that forced me to get going because I had to do the physical therapy but couldn't afford it. So, you know, that's me. I had this challenge and I overcame it, and it was an obstacle, and it literally hurt me every day. In fact, I'm still hurting from it. So it was starting there. And I had to work through it, and then I got to a point where I was literally sitting on a beach here in North Carolina, and I was with my buddy Ben, and we just, epiphany moment, right? I mean, I was like doing this with my back. I was like, you know, my back's not hurting anymore. I had chiropractic on it. I mean, I went to specialists. There was such a headache with this road that moment of clarity and joy was so powerful to me. And I was working out, like people came to me for advice. I was probably about 250 pounds, if not, I was 260, but I could fit into any pair of 38 pants. Now, for some people, that might not seem like an accomplishment, but a lot of us in the 40s, you know, waist size 40s, we wear them under our belly, because if we wore them on our stomach, we would need like hundreds. Alright, so, you know, some of you people that's got a little gut, you can kind of squeeze into another pair, pull it up a little bit, and you can take care of that pudge. But us, we got to let it hang out. You know, we don't have a choice. I mean, we can't find clothes like other people. So, you know, that's why a lot of people wear sweatpants and stuff, because, you know, if you can kind of put it up on there or something, I mean, that works. But if we just wear it, you know, so that it's loose and baggy and comfortable, because we don't like things cutting in on us. You know, I mean, that's just the truth. I mean, that's what I did. We wear shoes bigger. Well, I wore shoes bigger than what my, you know, so my feet would look bigger to kind of help take away from it. But now that I'm losing weight, I was at a point where I bought shoes my own size. I bought earrings for my ears. I mean, I spoiled myself. The money that I was saving from not eating food and not being able to get out there and do stuff, like, I was just focusing on me. And I could buy stuff that fit me that I looked good in, and that was a great feeling. That was the point I was finally at in my life, okay? I was comfortable, and that was after my recovery from the first accident. All of a sudden, I'm sitting at this beach, right? I'm just like, all of that work finally paid off. Look where I'm at. I've got a great job. I'm making good money. You know, gosh, what else did I have going on at that time? I mean, I had a skill. I had just been laid off. So I was on like a 3-month vacation. I really wasn't worried because I was pulling unemployment. So I was, you know, doing my thing. putting in applications, wasn't really getting any return, but I was still making an income, and it lasted for a little bit. So I took that money and said, you know what, it's March. Let me take my buddy Ben, let me go down to the beach. I could use it, he could use it, it's a special occasion for us. You know, I mean, I was decent with my money, so I had it, and we went. And, you know, when I was down there, you know, I just, boom, that's where I get to this situation here. Alright, so I'm literally at a point in my life where I was laid off from work, and I wasn't worried because I still had an income and I had a skill set. I mean, I was in the best physical shape of my body. So, I mean, not having a job wasn't a big deal because I had saved up so much money before that I also knew what it was like to just work the bare minimum. So I just didn't go out and do stuff, you know. I mean, I would have worked out at the house. That's what I was doing. I was doing my thing. Didn't cost me a month, $30 a month for my gym membership. All I had to do was cover gas going down there to the gym, and then I eat at the house, right? I still live with my parents because they need my help, so I know how to work my money. And I had it, you know. I borrowed something from my parents because they had it at the time, and I was like, hey, let's go, you know. I mean, we went down and had a good time, me and my friend Ben. I'm sitting on this beach, and I'm realizing all of this stuff that is good. My life has changed for the positive. See, I didn't know how to think too positive before that moment, so I had to figure out how I was going to get to that point. And just what I did was I focused on fitness. I focused on something that had a side effect of me learning more about me, which is where these exercises come from and this passion. I didn't care what I looked like. All I cared about was how much weight I could put on that bar. I worried about how much my legs could push. I focused on me exercising. How far can I bend? How far can I stretch? How far can I go? That became my focus, and I didn't think about anything else. And in doing that, I had to learn my body. I had to learn my limits, see, because I had to baby step it. I couldn't just jump in it like somebody who didn't have problems and find their limits through trial and error. I had to find them out from a distance, because if I got near my limits, it would physically hurt me. So I had to learn about proper lifting techniques. I had to learn about all of this stuff that other people just seem to know. It's so easy for them. Okay, so to be like normal people, I had to figure out a way to get to that point. It was like a side road. You know, it wasn't necessarily a backwards journey. See, I had to just do it slower. Some people can get on the highway. You know, my tags are farm. So I got to hit the side road, all right? I got to hit the dirt road to get to where we're going. I can't just take the fast lane like some people. And that's where my big uns, man, that's where we're at, okay? And that's where we're at. And where I'm at here is basically just to kind of tie this all in together is that I was at a point in my life that was amazing. I had just overcame the worst trial in my life, a physical trial, okay? I had emotional trials and stuff like that. Yeah, they weigh on us. Those follow us, okay? But I learned to deal with those. And I had a physical problem that I had to overcome with it too. So I had to become mentally strong as I did emotionally and physically. And I got to that point. I was down to 250, and I was 25 years old or so. I mean, or 27, 26. I mean, I'm in that age range. I'm 29 now. Okay, so, I mean, I'm in pretty decent shape considering, you know, but I'm way too young to be feeling this old. So, I guess you could say I never really went through puberty or something. But, I mean, when I grow my beard out, I look my age. So, I mean, don't be fooled. I am a man. Don't worry. But, you know, I was at this point in my life where it didn't hurt for me to go out and have fun. I didn't have to think about it. I was just enjoying myself. I had overcame, you know, the stress from my first accident and recovered from it. And, boom, I'm hit again. Okay? The first time hit and run throws me in a ditch. This time rear-ended at a red light. I smack dab, didn't even hit the brakes. Okay? I'm talking, hit me so hard that my buddy Ben that I was talking about, he goes flat to the back. Let me tell you, just whoop. But he was okay because he just went backwards. The momentum carried him. Me, I was holding the steering wheel, so it messed me up. All right, and I'm back to the beginning. And now I went from like 250 almost to 350. That's literally like about 100 pounds. If not, that's 90 pounds. Okay, let's say I wasn't 250, let's say I was just 260. Alright, we're hovering in the 260 to 270 range. And now I'm up to, let's say, positively at the doctor, I know I weigh 240 pounds, okay? I mean 340 pounds. 340 pounds? No, it wasn't 340. No, I'll give myself a little more credit than that. It was 324 pounds. Because I looked and I gained a little more weight, but it was, I went and checked it again and I took my clothes off because I was just like, oh my gosh, no. I was expecting it to be like 280 or something like that. But it was 320 plus pounds, okay? I wasn't just 310, I wasn't at 300. You know, I didn't just go up 20 pounds. After this second accident happened and I went into a state of mind, I was now at the best shape of my life, and in months, in a matter of months, I have managed to gain 60. Well, that was 40 pounds. 40 pounds would be up to 300 from 360. And I managed to pack on another 20. So I had gained over 50 pounds. I had gained 60 pounds. Alright, so now I have always been floating between that 280, but after that car wreck, it didn't matter what I was before, I was at and holding and losing weight. I was steadily losing weight, okay? And I was at the 260 mark, and now I'm up to 320, 60 pounds added of just fat, okay? And I couldn't do anything about it. My back was hurt, I had no help. I was in the worst state of mind that I could have been in because I had just come out of all of this and now I'm back and I'm worse. And I just can't. Everything that I'm grabbing to try to climb up on was just crumbling. I couldn't do it. Couldn't work for more than a month at a time. I was up to making about $20 an hour, which was a lot for me considering, you know, I have a technical, I had a trade, you know, and that's where I jumped up. Before that, I thought I was doing good to have 12, but I was making $17 an hour, you know, at the time, or when I had the accident, I was making 16. I had really just gotten started in my trade. I was 2 years into it, and I was getting ready to transfer into another area, okay, another job. It was Thermo King of Henderson, all right, and so I get up there, and I get ready to make this transition, and before it happens, I get hit and knocked into a ditch. But it's no big deal, right? I mean, the work there wasn't that physically demanding. It really wasn't. You know, but it got my brain going. I got to work on stuff, and I got to use my mind to fix things and figure it out. I went out on call and got paid a commission. If you don't know what it's like to get paid on a commission that's actually beneficial for you, you don't understand the amount of money you can make in a week. I literally had $1,600 paychecks for 1 week because I would work my normal 40 hours, then I would go out on call. Okay, 1 month I made a bunch of money. Alright, so I was doing really well for myself, okay? And right before I started that job is when I got hit, and I was recovering through that. I was climbing through that, okay? Didn't matter what I had before, this is where I was. This was where I was at. I was making so much money that I didn't. Mom and Dad needed $500, poof, here you go. I don't mind giving money, I got it to give. I'd go out and eat out every night. I bought $180 shoes. I spent money on me, okay? And that's where I'd recovered from this because it was a tragedy that I overcame. This second one happens, and I can't do that this time. You know, I don't have insurance. The Obamacare stuff wasn't working for me. I didn't know anything about it. I had to learn about that before I could start getting help. By the time it was all said and done, and I got help for like 3 months. I physically got doctor's help for about 3 months, or no, about 2 months, because I got started. I finally figured out how everything worked. I finally was able to borrow some money from my parents. They got me in there. I started getting treatment for a couple months. At the end of 2015, this wreck started, this whole escapade started in 2014, and now here we are, you know, 2015, and I'm finally able to get some help from something that happened right when the first one ended, right when I was finally done with it, and it's like, okay, let's flip to the next chapter. Soon as I start it, bam! Soon as I start this next chapter in my life, I get hit, and this book is just gone. It is, nope, we got to start all over. That's where I'm at, okay? That's the type of person that I am, and that's what I've dealt with. And this is where I was at in my life, okay? I was at a point where I had hit rock bottom. I had hit so hard that we went further down. And with this fresh fall, I had no idea how to get up to it. Because on the first fall, I built safety devices to catch me. You know, I got ways to get up. I figured out my path. I worked my problem. Alright, but now I was further down and I didn't know what to do. Because I physically couldn't do anything. So I just did what I could. And I finally got into physical therapy. It all led up to a point where I finally got into physical therapy. And she got me doing stuff again. And I just started recovering just like that. I hit the ground running. Considering the amount of people that I seen in there that couldn't do as much as I could, I felt that I was moving